have this item to go back to once we're finished here. So welcome to CIU's graduate orientation. So basically today we're going to be looking at the overview of what it is, to start at CIU, the platforms that you'll be exposed to, and just really the items, the basic items of what you'll need to successfully start your program. So this is basically that virtual dynamic. We are going to show you how to go ahead and log it into your platforms, how you can go ahead and find the platforms that you'll need, as well as some different policies that we abide by, and some other details that are important for you guys to know as students. So first off, really, this is the basic. Oh, we have another student waiting on. Let's see. We have Gerald. Hello. Hello, welcome. And we're going to be, we've already begun. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, we have another one. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, see. We're gonna go ahead and begin. So the basic technological requirements that I was speaking about in order to just start successfully within your program, obviously, are having a laptop of your own and a reliable internet connection. This is an online program, so you indeed will need this. We have a couple of students that ask around whether or not they can complete their program through their phone, or which is really hard. It's not impossible, but it really is hard. So we really do advise for you guys to have a laptop and internet. Now, this also goes hand in hand with our institutional email policy, which all of the communication that your advisors, which is my department. I'm the manager of student affairs, so also you can put a face to the person that will be answering your main doubts and concerns, if you ever have any. And my department will either be speaking to you directly through the CIU email, but also other areas at CIU will be talking to you and will be communicating through the institutional email. So whether that is financial aid or your instructors and whatnot, they can only go ahead and use your institutional email. So it's very, very important that you activate that as soon as you get it. So if you haven't gotten your credentials, please let me know by the end of this orientation so that we can send those out. But I believe all of the students here should have their email, their Learn Center credentials, and their student portal credentials. So that's it. And also for the institutional email and part of the resources that you'll be or have available to you is that through the institutional email, you can actually download Microsoft 365. So if you don't have, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Teams on your computer, you can actually download it for free through our email. So that is also available to you as a student. And we have a bunch of tutorials that we'll be making available to you. So no worries if you don't know how to do that just now. Now moving forward. Sorry if you can hear my dog on the background. So let's move on. So the three main portals, we haven't yet another student joining. There we go. And so we the main three portals that you'll be using as a student here are the student portal, which is a minor portal really. You're gonna get access to some payment information, final grades. So once you've completed your course, you'll get the final grades on there, some account information, and you can also get to request your student ID card through the student portal. Now, the Learn Center, this one is the most important one. This is where you'll be, just focusing 90% of your time on the Learn Center, as you'll find your courses here. You can have, courses. All of your resources as a student are mainly found here on the Learn Center. You'll also be able to contact your instructor through the Learn Center and get direct access to different platforms on our Learn Center. We have student there. And so let's move to the next one. And well, part of the tools that you'll be receiving and being able to use as a student here at CIU are the Turnitin Sandbox, which is very, very important. We'll be looking at that in a moment with our plagiarism policy. The Turnitin Sandbox is basically a platform that you can use, upload your documents before turning them in on your course room for the teacher to, take a look at it and grade it in order for it to analyze your content and let you know if you've plagiarized any of that content. Obviously, looking back at the report, you'll need to go ahead and cite correctly where, the data pointed out for you, and you need to make sure that you don't exceed the 20% percentage of plagiarism that we set out as the limit. All right. Now you'll also get access to your ebooks through the Learn Center. We will also be covering a couple of additional data regarding the ebooks and the classroom in a moment. You'll get access to our online library, which is basically a platform where you'll get additional documentation, additional academic papers for you to use, depending on the program that you're in and the kind of research that you'll be doing. You'll get access to a premium Grammarly account, which once you've activate your email, your student email, I'll be sending you a direct link so that you can download Grammarly into your computer, whether that is your browser or Microsoft Word, etc., and you'll be able to use that. It's very, very helpful. It will also help you with plagiarism. If you go ahead and take a look at the whole app, you'll get not only the Grammarly advising, the grammar advising, but also plagiarism checking. Once again, as I mentioned before, we have tutorials for all of it, so I'll be sending you those sources as well. Now, regarding tutoring, we actually have a resource on our resource center, which is also tutor.com. So if you ever find yourself struggling with something that you want to, review with an additional person other than your instructor, you can use tutor.com. And of course, your student advisors, which is myself, Andrea Garza, Alejandra, and Camila Lopez will always be available to you. If you don't find, any one of us, you can go to the next one. So let's go ahead, and the CIU channel, the YouTube channel, which holds all of the tutorials that I was speaking about. So that is also a resource for you guys to enjoy. Now, the Turnitin Sandbox, this is very important, as I said, because we do have our strict plagiarism policies, and basically, all student, staff, faculty are required to read the policies, understand them, and abide by the academic honesty guidelines, which really for plagiarism, as I said, you cannot, you're in between a 2% to 20% limit of plagiarized work through the Turnitin Sandbox. If you exceed that, you will get a notice from your instructor. Most probably you will also go through us. So once the instructor notifies us that you plagiarized, we will talk to you directly. You will have to sign up for a plagiarism workshop in order not to get an F as your first notice into your paper. From there, if you go ahead and plagiarize the second time, you will get that F on your assignment, and following then it will go through academics review, and depending on the amount of plagiarism that you've committed and the kind of plagiarism that you've committed, the consequences might be personalized and focalized. So please let's just avoid plagiarism overall on your course room. Now, if you're starting on the master's program, this is just also disclaimer, this is basically an orientation that combines all of our graduate programs, so master's and DBA, just because it's a really general outlook on the platforms that we use. So first off, if you're starting on the master's program, you will be starting your course with MGT 517, which is organizational development. And for the DBA program, you will be starting with GRC 600, which is Doctoral Academic Study in Writing, as your first course. The things that you really need to know about all of our courses, the general items of our courses, is that they're all asynchronous. It's very, very important that you go ahead and check the syllabus for any completion dates, any different things regarding grading. Your instructor's contact will be on the syllabus as well, and any other policies that you might as well need to check before starting into your class. Asynchronous, what does that mean? Well, basically is that you do get weekly due dates. So that is Wednesdays and Sundays. You'll need to go ahead and submit your work by those days by 11:59 p.m. PST, depending on the specific item that you're working on. We normally have introductions, we normally have the discussion questions, as well as some discussion forums due by Wednesdays, 11:59 p.m. PST, and then your weekly assignments, which are normally, the papers that you'll submit to your instructor, and some blog posts by Sunday. So you can always go ahead and work flexibly throughout the week, always just making sure that you complete your work on those dates. Now, all of our courses are 6 weeks long, so each of the terms are 6 weeks. They go by really, really fast. So each of the weeks are very important to just focus on them, finish your work on time, because sometimes we get, students that they believe that by the third week they can go ahead and complete all of their work. It's not that easy. Sometimes, we do need and stress time management for our students as they complete their programs, and more so on the graduate level, of course. So let's move on to the next one. And then regarding our courses, it's also very important to go ahead and share with you guys that the request for access to past courses, once you've completed your first course or the following courses, will not be granted unless it's something very particular. So for example, we've gotten students that unfortunately have to lose their computer, or they lost their documentations and they request access to their past course in order to retrieve a document or something like that. We can go ahead and grant you access to past courses, but that will be limited. Then also, well, obviously hand in hand with this, students are responsible for the creation of personal files where they, save their documentation and everything that they'll be submitting to their course room separately. So please don't rely on, what you go ahead and submit on to your courses, or believe that you'll be able to retrieve them once they've been uploaded, because that will not be a possibility. And this is only, and I want to explain why this is. Basically, we do have our incomplete course policies where students will need to complete a 66% of their course. So that's really talking about like reaching week 4 on their courses in order to request an incomplete. If there was any situations, personal situations that you could not control, and you want to go ahead and extend your time to complete that class following into the next term. So that means that you would be taking a new class and then finishing up your past course pending coursework. And in order for us to be able to control which students get access to their past courses, we don't open it, and it's not open to all students. So this is why we limit past course access. Now let's go into the next one. Then textbooks, it works the same way. Textbooks, you will only get access to each of the textbooks, each of the ebooks that you'll get for each class that term. And then if you go ahead and take notes, that's what we advise. Take a lot of thorough notes and just try to keep that separately. We don't give access to past textbooks, okay, once you've completed that class. So that's really the important detail on there. This obviously reduces as well costs and everything that is related to additional textbooks. So that's why we do it this way. If you ever find yourself interested on buying one of your textbooks or getting a hard copy, we can always find those for you and provide the links for you to get them separately, but we won't be making any reimbursements or providing payment for that additional buys. So let's so for this one, McGraw-Hill courses, all throughout your following courses, so not for the first course, but probably all throughout your program, you'll get access to additional platforms that will be automatized. So for example, on your Learn Center, you will be uploading all of the documents and all of the course items that will be graded by the instructor. In these McGraw-Hill additional platforms, you will be graded and you'll be taking quizzes and different lessons that will be automatically graded and put into the system. So you won't have to wait for an instructor to go ahead and grade you. These are just really a couple of classes that you'll take with McGraw-Hill, but we wanted to mention it as well as part of the orientation. And then finally, before we actually move into looking at the Learn Center and how it looks, we need to review attendance and our attendance policies, because this is very, very important. Attendance for CIU. What is attendance for CIU? Oh, I have another student here. Let's see. Sorry. So what is attendance at CIU? Attendance at CIU is submitting your academic assignments, basically engaging consistently and directly with your course room, taking exams, posting, in the course forums and the discussion questions. And why do I need to stress this? Attendance will not count if you're just logging in without any active participation on the classroom. It's not using an additional student resource. It's not looking around the course room. It's not, using Grammarly. That is not attendance. You need to be engaging with the course content in order for it to actually count as attendance within the Learn Center. And this is very important because students who fail to attend for 14 consecutive days, so students who fail to engage with their course content, are eligible for withdrawal. So this is very important to avoid. If you don't want to, be withdrawn, you need to be consistently attending into the course room. So let's now jump into the tutorial of how to get to your Learn Center. If you haven't already, like I mentioned, you will be getting the 3 sets of credentials, and you will be getting direct links to your Learn Center. But another way to go ahead and access your Learn Center, if you ever find yourself out using another computer, is to go directly to our caluniversity.edu page, and then you'll see students. Under students, you'll find the Learn Center as the first one, as well as your additional resources, so the student portal and student email down here. You'll click onto the Learn Center and you get redirected to this welcome in page, and you'll basically be able to log in. And this is the main view of the Learn Center. You will get also the direct login to the student email through your Learn Center and also to the student portal. So there's several ways that you can go ahead and access your resources. And then the Student Resource Center, which we'll be looking at in a moment. We'll first look at the course layout and how it looks for you. So once your course, right now, your courses are not showing on the sidebar, but they will be showing on the sidebar by Monday. And you will, once you click on that file, you'll be able to look at all of the weeks also on the sidebar. And it's very easy to manipulate, really. You'll just get into week 1 and you'll get all of the different topics. So first, you'll normally get like the instructions for the week or the topic for the week, and then you'll get the checklist of items that you'll need to complete for that week. And down below, as you scroll down, you'll get the actual activities and the actual links to completing those items. So for example, here we see that the first thing that you'll need to do by Monday is your introduce yourself. So you'll get the link down below. You'll go ahead and click that, add a new discussion, make sure that you're reading the instructions, of course, and then submit your posts. These are honestly really easy to go ahead and complete. They kind of look like Facebook even in terms of like the text post type. So it's not something, very challenging. The only I think item that I will go ahead and look into with a little bit more detail is the assignment completion, which we normally call, so the discussion questions, the quizzes, and then your assignment is the documents that you'll need to work on a Word document and upload them into into the Learn Center separately. So you'll normally get the same sort of layout. You'll get all of your instructions. You'll get actually a grading summary and this sort of rubric where you'll get your submission status, if you've attempted to upload a document or not, your grade once the instructor finishes looking at and reviewing your document, and then you'll get, at the bottom, the add submission button, which is how you upload the actual document. So you'll click on add submission, and then you'll actually get, I think for week 1 it doesn't appear, so let me go ahead into week 2. But you'll get basically a drop down sort of bar where you'll just be able to choose your file, upload it, and save the changes. But let's go ahead. I don't want to miss it out. So and once you've uploaded your document, you'll see that this rubric changes to green. It'll say submitted for grading. So that's the big check of your assignment being submitted correctly. You will also see the file that you've submitted as a link there. So this would say at submission, and you'll get this little drop down menu. You will actually get a big blue arrow here that you'll be able to click, and then this menu, the file picker, will go ahead and pop up. So you just have to choose a file, find the file on your documents. I'm just going to go ahead and submit this file for the sake of the example. Upload the file, click on upload file. You'll get to see the file being uploaded here, and then you'll go ahead and save the changes. It's very important that you save the changes because you might as well think that you're done once you click upload the file. No, go ahead and save the changes. I've done this myself. I forget, I don't save the changes, and then my work is lost and the teacher doesn't get it. So yes, go ahead and save the changes. It's very important. And then that's really the overview for the weeks. And then lastly, we're going to be looking at the Student Resource Center, which is also very important because you'll get access to the different things and items that I was talking about. So the Student Turnitin, Sandbox, Grammarly, et cetera, as well as different documents that will aid you in the process of creating and finishing your assignments, because we know it's a pain. Honestly, we know academics can be a pain in terms of formatting and, really just going into like the whole detail of APA, which is the format that we use mainly for our assignments. So we've actually gone ahead and created templates for all students to use. And under important resources on the sidebar, you'll get to click that, and you'll get all of our contact information here. You have all of my lovely team here. So Andrea Garza, as I was saying, Alejandra, myself, and Camilla are always available to you if you ever need any additional help. All of the documents and forms here, the one that is key for you to review as well as part of your student journey here at CIU is the CIU course catalog. Everything CIU related you can find there. So I advise you to go ahead and take a look at that once you've logged into your Learn Center. This tutoring services, so tutor.com that I was talking about, and the additional useful tools, so Microsoft Office, Grammarly, and then the Turnitin Sandbox, which basically Turnitin Sandbox will actually look very similar to your submission boxes. You will have to go ahead and submit the file by the button, you'll get your file here, and you'll get a percentage of plagiarized work on the bottom once you've uploaded the file. It normally takes a couple of minutes, so don't just, don't think that it's not working for you. You'll just need to wait, and then a green highlighted percentage will come up for you to review plagiarism. And lastly, which was the main thing that I was looking to show you guys, was the documentation and the templates over. It's writing resources. Yes, on writing resources. Sorry about that. Is here. So you'll get all of the APA edition resources. So all of our quick guides, all of our different cheat sheets for APA, and then we actually get the essay templates as well. So you'll be using the graduate essay templates, which already comes in all of the formatting that you'll need. You'll also get some different guides on referencing and everything. So it really does help to make the process a little bit faster once you're completing your assignments. So with that, we've actually come to the end of our orientation. I know it's a lot of information and it can be a little overwhelming, but don't worry, this is why we're here for you. Your advisors are just a call away, a text away, an email away, and we will always be sure to offer you the best support. And just if you ever need to schedule a particular one-on-one to review an assignment or to review uploading your document, or even maybe leveraging us as a communication bridge with your instructor, you can always go ahead and contact us. First, this is why we are here for you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this really, packed, informative wise orientation. My name is Andrea Varela, and yes, I'm actually going to open up a little space for Q&A right now. If you have any questions that I might as well, be able to address for you guys. So yes, I will only ask you for you to please use a little hand on the top. If you see on the options, you'll be able to choose a little hand to address any questions. So go ahead. And if we don't have any questions, still no worries. You can always come back to me. I know that at this point you're like, okay, this is too much information. My questions will probably pop in later. So you could always email me and I'll go ahead and answer and respond. Okay, so no worries. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And yes, thank you so much for attending once again. We'll be sending these out for your review, and I'll be sending all of the direct links to the different things that we saw as well. So yeah, just have a great rest of your Friday.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.